YouTube will demonetize this video.
But only if you say it in the first minute. Because I think YouTube searches the first minute, don't they?
Yes. Or was it the first minute or the first few minutes? Either way, they don't search the entire thing.
So if I said the big bad f word right now and then stuck that at the start of the video, I'd really be buggered.
I mean, especially if, let's say, you just opened the entire video with that sentence and those words.
Yeah, that would be really unfortunate. You know, only an idiot would do that. Hello, we're going to be spending an afternoon with modern Payday 2. I thought this would be quite fitting following up the Payday 2 in 2013 video. You may notice there's a slight difference this time. Payday 2 is a co-op game. So I brought with me my friend the Frumentari, who joined me in the 2013 version.
I did. It was horrible. So we start with Goat Simulator.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Did I put that at the top of the list?
Yes, you did.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. Yeah. You ready?
Yep, I've got the right mask. I'm ready.
Basic Dallas mask.
I don't even play Dallas.
I feel like this is really the peak of like Payday's weird promotional crossovers. Like they had the ones with films. I think it started with John Wick way back in 2014. But yeah, we had like John Wick and the Point Break ones and all these action movie crossovers. And on the game front, they had game crossovers, but they were usually like quite simple, you know, like masks or things like that. And there certainly weren't goats. When Payday 2 came out, it was criticised by fans of the first game for being trying to go a bit more for realism. In a lot of interviews and stuff I was reading with David Goldfarb and other members of Overkill at the time, they cited Breaking Bad as a big influence. They obviously mentioned Heat as well. And so people criticised it for being too realistic. And then a few years later we got this.
Just scroll up, man.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, no.
Let's go say hi.
All I remember is that the captain was hyped quite a bit. And then he appeared and it was like, so this is it.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. I think, yep, he's dead. They're retreating. Nice. I mean, if you don't have snipers or explosives or fire or grenades, you're gonna have a really hard time, and that was the reason why people hated the captain so much. Well, amongst many other reasons. But it was indicative of the worst moment of the game's ridiculous amount of DLC.
Yeah, I should not die. Actually, wait, we have a medic bag, okay.
It's like, oh yeah, we're fine, let's just run across the entirety of the map to get a medic bag, like...
Yeah, just sprint through and the dodge will hopefully work.
Oh, are you running dodge at the moment?
Yeah, dodge has done a lot to make the game play differently, play more aggressively. Oh, that's a Skulldozer.
Okay, where is he? That was a one shot, okay. Oh wow, that's a lot of dead peeps. The game's gotten faster, I would say.
Oh, a lot faster.
Like, it's hard to tell whether it's better or worse how it is now. But there's certainly less of an emphasis on defensive positions and teamwork. Though there are still mechanics which use teamwork.
It was really, it was rewarding to like get a massive group of people together. Or say massive, 4 people together, and then each of you have your role, and then all of you get a use of that role.
This is definitely a lot more convenient, especially now where, sure, we know people who play Payday, but not really play it like they used to. It's a lot harder to get a full lobby of friends these days. So being able to jump into the game with 1 or 2 players and still be able to hold up okay on the same difficulties is odd, but also convenient. Yeah, there's a lot less waiting around for drills to finish as well.
Now there's a lot of waiting around for an objective to finish of sorts.
True. The difference is, though, all those skills you would get for C4 for opening safes and safe cracking and drill skills, and even bag skills are less useful now because those mechanics come up less.
Unless, like, the only way I can think of using C4 is the way Dai uses it in one of his builds, where there's a skill where marked enemies take more damage, and you use C4 set as sensor mines.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's
quite a clever
That's a
build.
cool combination.
I swear there used to be a button to look behind you. Ah, hey! How was that? I picked good builds for this heist because I think this really demonstrates a level of excess that we have reached as I'm mowing them down with a minigun. So you running another dodge build?
Yes.
It is. The effects of the old dodge meta can still be felt to this day. Oh! Whoa!
Wait, that side doesn't have anything bad on it, does it? I know, it's just a big open
Okay, I'm
field.
quite low on health, but okay, I'm already back to 2/3. The healing's one of the biggest changes. And that was with perk decks. When they added perk decks, suddenly everybody became much more powerful, and it's no wonder that they added 2 new difficulties. Perk decks were the replacement for the tier skill bonuses, which were mostly like, oh, that's kind of useful, I guess, to this literally changes your entire build and makes you 10 times more powerful. Power creep is very real.
Yeah, other than the fact that we are throwing around goats, other than that, everything is relatively normal.
Yeah, it's actually a decent heist, if very, very intense. This is, I would consider, one of the harder heists just from layout. Where is he? Ah, come on! Alright, well, he always gets it the second time. What? No, I shouldn't have said anything! It was weird when I was writing the script. Come on, thank goodness. For this 2013 Payday video. And I realised, wow, this game came out more than half a decade ago.
Oh, yeah, don't forget that the handling dynamics in this game are horrible.
This heist isn't super well optimized. A lot of the later ones aren't very well optimized. The engine just cannot hold up to the size and scope of it. Because this is a large map as well. Oh, that was a civilian. Whoops. Looks back on video. Killing civilians is a real problem. Literally driving them down here. Oh, he's not dead. Ah, I've wasted my damage on him.
Like how that's a thing that can happen here. You're wasting damage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
What are you firing at that sniper?
Hmm? Minigun.
Oh. Alright.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so now we're gonna see what we should have done when we played the old version, but we didn't have a tech player, so we couldn't.
Yeah.
Because there were no skill sets. You need to get out of the way. Oh no, Titan safe. Please.
I think
Make
it's
this the
always
one.
on the Titan safe.
Yes! Go, go, go!
Potato ACM, nice.
Just like that.
Guys, don't forget about the extra loot.
Did he say that? Oh, we need the vantage point. I see you've become an artist in the time.
There were a few heists where pre-planning was like pretty cool. Big Bank had some interesting pre-planning, but then there's basically the meta of the bus is the most useful thing in the world.
Oh no!
Wick isn't getting his friends.
This was so worth the 2 favors.
Did you know if you have a drill?
No, I knew that. I knew that.
Breaks,
Sorry. No, I knew that.
No. Just general auto restarting of the drills. It rolls. It rolls when you place the drill, and basically it has the whatever 40% chance to roll to be an auto restarter drill, not to auto restart once.
Oh. SWAT turret was another one where they added it, and it was a royal pain because you needed usually DLC
Rocket
weapons
launchers.
to actually take it down. Yeah.
We didn't grab a key, did we?
No, because I bought the vantage point.
Ah, yes.
That was one of the things in their feedback survey. One of the big things I said was to increase the amount of pseudo-randomization of level layouts. So like more stuff like in Beneath the Mountain, where the vault entrance, the blast door can be in a different location, and that entire entrance to that center area changes as a result. Have more sections like that instead of just a thing placed in another location, and then that would incentivize, because the layouts would be more different, it would incentivize people to be more thoughtful of their pre-planning instead of just picking the same layouts all the time. That's something that you couldn't really do before. You couldn't decide to just make a new build because you wanted to. So like I've been like, one of the things relatively recently was I made that hybrid dodge build to see how it would fare, and it actually ended up doing pretty well, and that's now one of my main builds. And it kind of revitalized the game for a while for me because it played so differently. One of the big criticisms when the game came out was that stealth sucks, and Goldfarb constantly bemoaned stealth in the game. I don't think he ever quite got it to the point that he liked. Is Election Day the only heist where the outcome of day 1 affects what you do in day 2?
Actually, yes, I think it is.
And then after that, they more or less dropped the day structure as part of their move to bigger single day heists. And that was as a direct response to what players were asking for, which is more heists like Payday the Heist. Oh, Christ on a bicycle.
Oh, that's C4.
Pick one. Run. Not yellow, I'm doing red. So that was not the right one.
The truck you assholes tagged wasn't the right one.
I love the way he says that. Not blue, not red, not green. What does that leave us with? Yellow?
There's only one yellow one.
Okay. Placed it. I'll place the next UCM.
This has to be the one.
Yes! I do. Do I just kill him?
What?
I don't want to talk about it.
Now it's personal.
With totally legit John Wick, who, remember, was the first character to be added to the game, shortly followed by the original Hoxton, who was, you know, requested for like a year, but I love that. Like, it was part of the same event, and they went, ha, John Wick.
Oh no! I didn't check what the thing said, and it said place shaped charge. Are you aware of how this video game works?
Hello. I've seen gameplay of it.
Come here.
Oh my goodness! Oh wait,
No, stop! No! I wanted to take a screenshot of that. That was amazing. Oh no, there's another guy walking in. Jesus Christ, no. My life is falling apart. It's not related to this game, but...
Thank you for your honesty.
That is the end of your trial therapy session. Would you like to buy a subscription now? Would you like a therapy session to discuss how you perceive advertising?
Why would you need therapy for that? Also, oh my god, I just got that. Oh, you...
This is so difficult.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Drop an ECM.
I did. Okay, there's a guy up on the walkway and a guy down here.
I've got it.
Nice.
Control. I just got
My
startled
duty
by a
to
black
inform
cat.
you that
It
Pancho
was
Villa
huge.
is everywhere and nowhere.
Oh no. Come on, ECM it. Nice.
I don't know if these bags will be noticed by human beings. But yeah, now there's going to be people patrol. Wait, have you not seen the picture of the Audi wearing a Stetson? It says howdy.
No.
Oh.
Good conversation.
One.
That's one.
I'm really annoyed that the heisters can't count past one.
Yeah. One! I'll look for that, I guess.
You sound like Ben answering a call in the Go Bank.
Furiously typing on his Razer Black Widow keyboard.
Yes, good. Picking up telemetry from the money now.
This is a great heist. This is how you should introduce gimmicks into a heist without it being over the top. Like, driving's not that great for what it is, for the amount of work it probably took to implement. But like, a simple interaction of, you skydive down into this level is really cool and really memorable.
Come on, stop playing with your little dick cop friends. Find the third pallet, boss.
Angry Lock is precious.
Honestly, I feel like they maybe didn't intend... I don't know what they intended with Locke, because it feels like half of the time the ARG stuff and anything relating to that storyline only was introduced with the introduction of Wordsmith writing the story. Especially with how the ARG just had secrets and things like Baldwin and all that were hinted from early on and never went anywhere. I find it quite strange that for the promotional material for this heist, they basically had a 10-minute live-action video that was the entirety of day one. It's a holdover from the original ambitions when the game came out of having the web series, the live-action web series running alongside. And that went absolutely nowhere because it was atrocious, but the Hogs and Breakout one was actually alright. But it turns out, when I was doing a bit of research, originally they planned on when you completed a heist, some of them would end with little live-action cutscenes. Kind of like, I can't believe I'm saying this, kind of like Raid World War II.
What? Is that how that ends?
You know all the
Heist ends,
Hitler
yeah?
cutscenes in that? Basically, somebody gives Hitler the message and he has a bunch of like pleased reactions and angry reactions. It's one of the more charming things about that game considering how uninteresting it is.
I find it interesting that you use the word charming and Hitler in the same sentence.
Within a month, Payday 2 sold 1.5 million units.
Which is very impressive. Now the question of whether or not they made good use of their massive budget.
Well, we know what they were like with money management. With their VR ventures and their multiple publishing projects, some of which they had to sell back now because they're out of money. And Raid World War II and The Walking Dead, which was probably a very expensive license. One of the craziest things about this heist was that it was free.
It was.
This was the first Crime Fest, wasn't it? 2014. And it sent them on a very dangerous trend of people expect multiple days of free updates around October time every year. I can only imagine the crunch. 2015, they got into a lot of flack because over that year they'd added so much DLC and the power creep was getting crazy with all the explosive weapons. Then you had the whole mess of the Spring Break Hype Train event, where it was basically a mass pre-ordering of DLC. So they really shot themselves in the foot because they were trying to balance up these big free heists and stuff with excesses of DLC, and because they were getting flack for that, they were trying to change the way that they were making that money, but any way they did was getting heavily criticized because, to be honest, paid weapon skins and loot boxes that are gameplay affecting potentially are not. That's not a good idea. So then they really got stuck because then they went, okay, like a year or two ago, they went, okay, all future updates are gonna be free. Like, how do you make money now? Well, with your big game, Overkill's The Walking Dead. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I saw it was a graph from one of the investor meetings years ago, and it was talking about how by 2020, was it 2018 to 2020, they wanted to like double or triple their revenue. It's like, oh no, and they were like, for big releases like
Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Overkill's The Walking Dead was one of them, and then the games they were publishing, like Psychonauts 2 and System Shock 3, both games which notoriously have taken a really long time to make and have no release date. I mean, I can think of another studio that got big around that time that faced serious financial troubles and then eventually shut down recently, and that's Telltale. And it's the same thing, Payday 2, when it released, there was 30 people on the team. There's now like 70... by 2015, I think it was, there's about 75 people at Overkill. The game's DLC had issue with the value proposition because some heists would be much better value than others. I still like the transport heists more than most people. The reliance on C4 saws is a little silly, but I still think there's enough variety there to make it interesting.
Actually, I think if you land on
side.
some of the pillars there, you might be able to, but it's not.
This side.
It's not easy.
Uh-oh! I have my moments. This is the best. This is the best of what Payday 2 has to offer. This is what I would hope Payday 3 opens with.
So how many do you think they could do, especially when they're now on a tight budget?
Payday the Heist launched with 6, 7 heists that were all pretty big in scope. Payday 2 managed 10 original layouts at launch with a handful of very slight variations. And honestly, I felt like that was a much weaker offering because you were left playing, it's like, oh, I want to play something loud and exciting, and you play Rats and Firestarter. You want to play Stealth, you play Framing Frame. That's it. They should definitely do what the Tripwire did with Killing Floor 2, which is, especially considering they need to release the game soon. But until then, it's like they could attempt what Tripwire did, which is they released their game in early access, Killing Floor 2. And I think it launched with only like 3 or 4 maps. It was a really low amount, and obviously it was criticised for that, but it was the understanding it was early access. And in the year since then, it's now got tons and tons of maps. But the core gameplay was great. There was variety in the different play styles, and elements of randomization in the levels themselves made it so they weren't identical every time. Does that sound familiar? But moving it to a light RPG was absolutely the right move, because it gives the game so much more depth and replayability than Payday the Heist did.
Sicario, in a way, is slightly broken. Have you looked at my shields?
Okay.
Like, I lose them, and get them
jeez.
back. Lose them. If I dodge, I get all my armor back.
Oh, that's... Okay, no, that is ridiculous.
Like, at a moment like this, well, to be honest, no, but right now there's an assault wave happening due to a certain man. But
Oh god, when did the captain appear?
he arrived like after 5 minutes, and we just ignored him and left.
It's been an endless assault wave this whole time.
Yeah.
That's the 4th attempt of these keys, and I'm still not in. Come on. That's number 5.
That's 5 bags.
That's
Follow Mark.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
No!
8.
I think that's 7. This is
How
8.
many
Oh
times
my
can you roll?
God. That reminds me of like old Inspire, where you'd be spamming it like 10 times and they wouldn't get up. I just imagine if the if Captain Winters had a birthday party, the only people who'd turn up are his shields.
Like, who thought that, hey, if you dodge, you get all your armor back, and this works with an ICTV, by the way.
And didn't they introduce that like just after they nerfed some of the most broken perk decks like Grinder? And they're like, lol, watch
Yes.
this. Watch this, guys.
Is Grinder for gay dating? I think it is.
Yeah, it's the gay one. And Tinder's
Yeah.
the non-gay one. Also known as straight.
Big Bank is so good.
Oh, it's such an incredible heist. There's only so much time in the day. The afternoon is swiftly coming to a close. It's in fact 6:15. Following up such a strong heist, anything we do has to be poignant. It has to have a message, a purpose.
Yeah, it needs
Make
to
us feel something.
Yeah, it needs to really make you think about what you're doing. Yeah, people often look at this and think, who could have designed such a thing? Was it Picasso?
You know, I love the thing of having to stand in these smaller rooms and creates an odd sort of challenge, especially when if you step outside this limited circle here, you get punished.
Exactly. Perhaps this is actually a metaphor for the UK job market. Is for a heist to be enjoyed, does it need to be fun? We're forced to think that perhaps Cursed Kill Room is a better option than going outside.
Perhaps. Or maybe it's a really fucking shit heist.